everybody again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and with me is my favorite ninja, Kage.
Hiya!
Kage, what's going on?
Well, just taking a look at what the world is telling us and trying to figure out what the truth is and what people are trying to deceive you with.
And it's not looking that well right now, folks, unfortunately, so make sure you watch your pennies and things like that for some of the stuff we're seeing going on in Southeast Asia. It's not looking pretty financially as far as that goes, so keep your eyes on that and watch your wallet. Kameo is on an East Coast swing. He's out right now. He's passed out because he's got to make sure they're going through. They're trying to get through to beat the next storm coming through. So he's out, but he'll be back next week, better than ever, and back to give his feedback on things. Before we start covering into the stocks, so some of these plays that we're going to cover a little safer. And we're going to try to cover some safe stocks, but we're covering everything. But some of these penny ones, you might just want to do a pass and try to get into something safer, especially with some of the stuff. I don't know if you've seen in Xi'an there. Is that what you say? Xi'an right there? Kage?
Xi'an, yeah.
Yeah, basically the people there are trading. They're locked down. There's some reports that people are sealed in their houses, things like that. They're trading. There's supposed to be another form of variant, and Beijing's trying to control it so it doesn't spread in there because the Olympics are coming and they don't want it to get involved in that. So what's happened? There's some ports that are starting to close. They're trying to mitigate the outbreak with they're doing lockdown modes and things like that. But there's reports there, Kage, that people are trading iPhones and valuables for rice and things like that because they're starving. So,
that's the thing people don't realize is sometimes in certain circumstances, food is actually worth more than gold.
Yeah.
You can't eat money.
Yeah, and we've been saying on this show for a while that we've tried to give the warnings with Evergrande, things like that. We've talked about it over and over again that this cycle doesn't stop. So it's never going away for now. It's here to stay for a little bit, and just be prepared. Just get your house in financial order and try to find yourself some. Like I said, I'm not going to be like some of the other guys that say go here and buy. You know what you got to do. Go buy what you need to do for your essential stuff that you need to have. So back to the hope and the fun. We're going to go and talk about stocks, but we just wanted to give you an update because you're probably not hearing any of this news about China. If you want to hit us up in the comments section, we can tell you more about it. Things like that. But yeah, there's another variant circling around besides everybody's talking about Omicron, but there's this other variant that's going around as well, and there's another one in France, I believe, that's pretty bad too. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. Just make sure your house is in financial order. That's all we're saying. So, and bless yourself. God bless you and your family and everything like that, right, Kage? Health, wealth, and safety. So, going on to the first stock I have, LIXT. LIXT, last tick was $2.19. Kage, this is a little more of a safer play here. If I put the chart up on the screen, obviously you had your hype and high point recovery time, but this one has been pretty consistent, and then we had a dive off. Like, that's what some of these do, because Kage, as you know, as we talked about in yesterday's program with the biopharmas that we talked about and therapeutic stocks, is that they go through similar patterns in news patterns. The benefit of that to you is that when you find your buy point where you want to get in, where we recommend you buy into the cheap, this way you don't get, because the ones we're going to talk about, they've been sent around. They're on promotion lists. Not saying that this is a pump and dump, but what's going on there? You got a fight going on there, Kage?
Just some rustling in the leaves.
Oh, you're raking the leaves there. No, I'm just kidding. He's not raking any leaves. He's just moving his paperwork. He studies on his stuff there all the time, so he's making sure he's covered there. But yeah, going through with this graph, the chart. You're going to ride some of those news waves and things like that. But the smart deal is to find your buy point. Would you get in today? Kage, actually, you probably, you would want to stay away until, the news poppers get out, and then you want to get in when it's a little lower, so you're not taking that loss right there. So going into this company, They operate a drug discovery company that uses biomarker technology to identify enzyme targets with related serious common diseases, designs novel compounds to attack those targets. The firm focuses on inhibits of protein photostasis that is used alone and combined with cytotoxic agents or X-ray or immune checkpoint blockers, and encompasses two major category compounds for various stages of preclinical and preclinical development. It develops two series of pharmacological active drugs, which is the LB100 series that consists of novel structures. Now this is huge because I'm going to get into it in a little bit and give you their pipeline. Their pipeline is definitely something you want to take a look at. And there's a reason why, Kage, that this is different from your subs, because there's a reason why they got to the dollar range, is because they've gone through their phases, they've gone through their developments, and some of their approvals and things like that. So they're not just some chump stock off the street where it's out of a trailer. It's a heavy hitter stock. So going into it, the LB series 100 series consists of novel structures that might be used in treatments for, guess it's with the C word, it's cancers, and vascular and metabolic diseases. The LB200 series for treatment of chronic hereditary diseases such as Gaucher's disease, as well as cancer and neurodegenerative diseases. The company is located in the People's Republic of East Sawtucket, New York. I actually know where Sawtucket is because my family lives by there. What would you say you got from StockTwits? Because that's where the real traders are at.
I'm seeing mostly bulls for now for this stock.
Okay.
Like this comment from Nostradamus 696.
Ooh, interesting name.
Bullish for this stock.
Okay.
LIXT. Your tears of fear today will be my tears of joy tomorrow. Mark these words.
Okay. What else do you got? Okay, Kage. So you have another comment right here. What do you have there on the twits before I go into the pipeline overview?
This comment from Vertical. It says, bullish. LIXT had a steady and solid trend pre-market, but since market open, it sold off and closed near the 2.13 level. Nothing to pay attention to anymore. Rocket gained plus 71% since first alert. And he has a chart set up in the comments.
And I can tell you exactly what that was. Do you know what that was? That big as far as resistance, it went up there and then it dumped off. Do you know what that is right there? That's the promotions that went out, because this is on a promotion list. So some of you might say, "Oh, how do you know that?" Because I got the promotion sent to me. Okay, that's how I know about it. So before any of the naysayers say, "Hey, you shouldn't say that," if there's a promotion, I'm going to tell you about it. So some of those spikes that you see means it went out and people were notified to promote, because that's how they bait people in. So that's what he was seeing. I'm sure he knew that, but he probably, if he's an experienced trader, he knew that. If he didn't, then that's what happened. So that's the analysis of where you see what happened right there. That was from the minute that hit, people saw that and they got some of the newbies, and then the spike, and then obviously the experienced people know that because they know how to make their change, and then they dump out, and so that's where you saw the slip off. So he did say, like he said, don't worry about it, because that's why that's happening. So that's why that you saw that dive off. So that's why it's so volatile at that point, because the news, and also you have your pump and dump notification email blasts going out. In the pipeline overview, it says LIXT develops two series of pharmacological drugs, active drugs. LB100 series that inhibits serine, theroine, photostasis, and LB200 to inhibit historic deacetalysis. The current focus is LB100 series, which LB100 is a lead clinical candidate for 100 exerts its activity of novel mechanism, and is the first type to be evaluated so broadly. Multiple animal models of cancer and now in human beings are ubiquitous enzymes that regulate many cell signal networks important to cell growth, division, and death. So there you have it there. There's long been appreciated potential important targets for anti-cancer drugs. However, because of multifunctionality of these enzymes, it has been widely held that pharmacological inhibitors of these photostasis are too toxic to allow the development of anti-cancer treatments. So there you have it. they have shown in the case that in phase trial 1, LB100, well-tolerated doses associated with objective regression, significant tumor shrinkage. So arresting of tumor progression patients with progressive cancers. So there you have it on that there, Kage, as far as one of the deals they got. What else do you got from the real traders there?
This is a comment from Team Bullish, and he's made several comments for several different stocks, and I think his take is really interesting. He says LIXT Bullish plus 62.79% for the day. Movement today was off preclinical research supporting its lead asset. 123 million shares exchanged today appears to be oversold. Small pop to $2.40 plus in the after hours. Intraday high of $3.10. Closed $2.19.
Yeah, and nobody needs to worry about some of that. Was just your promotions, and that's why we're here for some of the newbies as well, is that don't get caught up in these promotions. What you saw was promotions going out because they notified everybody because of the spikes they saw with the news. These are more of the safer plays to play because of they follow news cycles by the pipeline. There's probably the most safe when it comes to all your crap that's going to financially affect, because right now the market's overbought. There's many players right now that are calling. They don't have a timeline, but they're calling for the collapse of this market just because of the conditions we're in for the quantitative easing, or if you want to call it tapering, things like that. There's also the speculation of what did we read? What is on Zero Hedge? We had they talked about the three interest rate hikes, things like that. So there's all this uncertainty out there and everything with bubbles popping and things like that. So when you have stocks like this, they're a little more safer just because they have those phase pipeline. Medicine is hard. Medicine is hard as far as to with medical things. It's hard to crash that out. People have to have these medicines to survive and things like that, and they can survive hard economic times. So with this, with their pipeline, going back to things, you have small cell lung cancer. That one looks like that's in phase 2. So you have that. Soft tissue sarcoma, that one, Kage, is in phase 2. And then myocytoplasmic syndrome, that is in phase 2. And then gliomas pharmacology, that is in phase 1. So you have several different items here that are in all these different phases. Once you get news pops like this, we're going to go off of the site here, because we're not. I mean, we could read scientific terms here, Kage, all day, but you're going to get the same deal there all the time because you're just it is what it is when you have this. You know what I'm saying? What else do you got on StockTwits where the real traders are at there?
I've got one from Stock Profit Bear Killer. He says bullish for this one. LIXT. Another green day for me today, although not what I was hoping for. Market was crap today for most mid and small caps. Hoping tomorrow and or Friday are more alive. If you lost or didn't make much today, no worries. Stay focused.
Yeah.
Get money.
He's right. Stay focused and hold the line. You're going to get a lot of crap negative news, but there's opportunities for money to be made. This stock right here, you're just going to have to be patient. With these biopharmas and therapeutic stocks, you have to be patient. You have to wait your time. They will pop off. Example, this one. The reason why the letters went out on the pump and dump list, things like that, is because you had plugs coming out from all the news, especially this one. This was the hot news why this popped. And this could happen to you in the future whenever you decide to get in, if you're getting in on this stock. This comes from investing.com. It looks like they had the news for this company saying it was a 62% surge on Wednesday because they have a lead clinical compound, LB100, increased responsiveness to diverse cancers to immunotherapy in its preclinical studies. According to the LIXT, LB100, a protein phosphatase inhibitor, was found by researchers in Taiwan. This is why Taiwan's important there, Kage, because they do a lot for the world that people don't realize. That's why, make sure we got to make sure that they stay safe and everything like that. To improve the success of anti-cancer immunotherapy, recent advances in therapy and immune checkpoint inhibitors are true breakthrough in development of more effective and less toxic treatment as many cancers. LIXT's founder, CEO John Kovac, unfortunately, most cancer patients do not respond to immunotherapy. That is true. Those are widespread efforts to find pharmacological or immunotherapy ways to be unresponsive. Cold tumors into responsive hot tumors, he added. LIXT shares more than doubled early as a part of Wednesday's session. And if you go down the list of the alphabets, they're all pretty much parroting the same story, so we don't need to cover them. Kage, what do you got from the real traders as far as what else they're saying about this?
This one from Pre-Market Maker. He says that LIXT. Watch this sleeper. $3.10 plus is the squeeze zone. Shorts still need to keep a really close eye on this one. The low float is a big factor. 5.6 million currently up over 100% today. It's got a little chart there.
And he at least he brought the receipts to give his data there of everything. You got to bring your receipts if you guys are going to post stuff, like I said, and that's awesome. I mean, we don't have to bring the receipts on everything, but if you're going to call things out, people are going to want to know, and they're going to want data to back it up just because they want to see, and they want real data. They don't want you got it from Scooby.com and you don't have the receipts to back it up. There's been so much fake news out there the past, for the long. Let's not say 5 years. Let's just say for all, yeah, longer. Tons of stuff's been debunked 5-10 years later, and we're not going to go into any particular things, but you've got to read all the tea leaves. That's all we're saying. So make your decision, find your buy point, see where you're at. On this one, I'm going to say this is a high priority on the watch list, and as far as I think it's definitely one to look at. What's your take on it?
I think it's definitely worth a look.
Yeah.
If you want to get into this, just make sure that you watch what the graph is doing and what people are saying about it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a take on Facebook. Sorry, I get confused between Facebook. I can't keep track of it. But we had a take where someone says, "Well, these guys don't like it." It was about the oil stock we talked about yesterday. I never said I didn't like it. I just said to put it. It's on a somewhat watch list. Maybe I'm still going to watch it. But I never said I didn't like the company. I just want to see more data on it, So if I'm going to say I don't like it, then I don't like it. So
Yeah, some people will just try to twist your words no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And sometimes the only way to win is to just not say anything, just, not play their game.
Yeah, I mean, I told people the other day, AZFL, I wasn't down with it. So I didn't like what I saw, and I didn't like a lot of the sentiment of what the traders and what they went through and things like that. So I'm a realist. I call it as I see it. So I take into account everything, and I could already tell by looking at things and looking at some of the data that it's not something I wanted to invest in. But yesterday with the 88 Energy, I never said it was a bad company. I'm just skeptical. That's all. If you're not, you got to be skeptical of everything. So that's the thing, is we put it on a watch list. We look at it, but we're never going to tell you what to buy and everything like that. That's your choice where you're going to go. So we just present the information, and we try to get information from you. We don't have all the information all the time. So that's what makes everybody a better trader, when we all share information together. Right there, Kage?
Yes. Informed society is definitely more prepared for whatever's thrown at it.
Yeah, not watching cable news and taking in garbage time all the time and taking that, listen to that. You'll lose your shorts if you keep on listening to people like Kramer and things like that. So I'm out on this one. We're going to not circle back, because that's going to be outlawed and banned from journalism school now. I heard about circling back. Did you ever hear about that?
Oh, that would be karma for
yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Apparently, circle back is going to be taught not to say in journalism school, which is, I think, and the and
I think it was used too much. I think it was used too much, and the wrong person was using it.
Yeah, I think it was Peppermint Patty, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll just yeah. We'll move on to the next, and we'll see you in 2 and 2. Okay, guys, the next stock we have is DTST. DTST. Last tick was $3.98. It's lost 15 cents after hours, but that's because it's on a promotion list, and those people got out. So that's where we have that there. The chart on this is semi. It's all right, but the company itself, as far as what I'm seeing, looks decent as far as services and things like that. I'm biased because I own an IT company, and I'm always going to slant towards IT because of reoccurring revenue and things like that. And when economic times hit like that, when you're a servicing company, and if you manage your money correctly, you avoid hard economic times. I worked for a company during 2008 when the financial crisis was happening, and while people were suffering, this company was making lots of money with IT repair. We're talking in the millions. So, yeah, they were doing that on a monthly basis, and they were killing it when, unfortunately, people were going through other things. So I'm very biased on IT there, Kage. Going forward, we'll call that a company to be named later. They're not in business anymore because of piss poor management and the owner sold, but that's another story for another day. And I'm not employed by them because I did my own thing. So going into this company, Data Storage Company Corporation engages in the provisions of business community services. The services include disaster recovery, infrastructure, and service and cybersecurity. Also, other service solutions include data protection, data center security, voice data solutions, email archival solutions. The company was founded by Charles M. Pliuso. Sorry if I butchered your name there, Charles. I'm sure you're not watching the program. June 2001 is headquartered in Melville, New York. Now, first thing off the bat I see here going forward looking at this is that Kage, it's reoccurring revenue. Okay? That's all I'll say there. You're going to mention a couple clients that were hit off. Somebody got pissed because they mentioned those clients, but it's a huge story even in itself that they have this client. But let's go to StockTwits, where the real traders are at, and let's see what some of your good takes of what some people are saying.
Yeah, I've got a couple of good recent comments, and this one I think is really indicative of a lot of the sentiment. And a lot of them are saying bullish for this one stock. I see a couple of bears in here, but I think they're mostly just being sourpusses. They're like few and far between.
It's all good. We can cover them. We can cover them as long as they have receipts. If they're not bringing the receipts of why they're upset, they're irrelevant. They're just trolling. So
yeah, I saw a couple of bearish comments, but they didn't necessarily back it up with any pictures or any graphs, anything to describe why they're that way. But yeah. The first comment is from Squalus. He says bullish. DTST, that acquisition of Flagship Solutions in June sure looks like it might pay off sooner than later. 95% retention of clientele in the IT space, and just signed the Miami Dolphins after managing their stadium IT since 2018. So
that's not a soft client to have that. Also, the news is the reason why this is popping, and it showed up on a promotion list, is because of that deal with the 10 terabytes of data, which I will go into. That most of the new cars are having to deal with that. So we'll go into more detail of what that all entails and everything like that. But it looks like, and that's one of the major stories of this company, which is huge, and why you should be giving it a look because of this deal that we're going to talk about in a second here. But going on to the website, obviously it looks good. It's this stock is not in subland. It's in the big dog land, and so the website's going to look good. All hosted services include 24/7 system and network monitoring, hardware updates, network firewall security patches, tons of dough into that, guys. Let me just tell you, we've done jobs like that, and there is tons of dollaruskis in this type of work. 24/7 hardware and software maintenance. The infrastructure redundancy includes N1 throughout the entire infrastructure, supported for 3 shifts of expert staff. They follow ISO 27001, NIST, CIS standards for the best practices for security. Also, guys, you got reoccurring revenue here. These companies like this, they have reoccurring revenue coming in all the time. Easy Monitor gives businesses, and another thing to tell you is that if there's an emergency, there will be clients that call in. They don't care if they call Kentucky Fried Chicken IT. They will call whoever it is, whoever's available to get them back up, and that is a fact. And they will call in the middle of the night. So that's what I mean. Kage, you've been there for the calls and things like that. They will call whenever. So it's a thing, and this happens in a bad economy, because if you're in a bad economy and you need to make money, you gotta have your computers running, your networks and everything, or you're toast. You're done. You know, you can't lose everything either, or you're toast too. So just something, food for thought to think about that when you see all this crap going on in the world. You got these companies that you could shift towards, because they're not going to go away unless the managers are having piss poor financials. 24/7 system health monitoring, including message queue, error log, CPU, memory storage, automated data log collection, reporting key metric service and compliance. That is huge too, because how many times have I told you on the show of people that are not compliant and they could be shut down and they're walking the thin red line because they're vulnerable to hackers? Said that over and over. Automated alerts with flexible email and notification options, alert system error events, and 3 supported shifts of expert engineers. So going on to StockTwits, because that's where the real traders are at. What else do you got for the comments there?
I feel like a lot of these people are looking to short for this stock.
Okay.
But
what are some, like, what's some with like actual data here? Okay, so what do you got for one of your positive comments from one of your other traders there on StockTwits?
This is from Vertical. We actually did one beforehand on him, but yeah, he did a comment for DTST as well. He says DTST began to run shortly before market open and got halted in the first minutes of regular trading. It broke back in the pre-market range area. 4.20 seems heavy resistance area. Still a watch for tomorrow. A 30.3% since first alert, and he's got the chart set up in the comments of his quote to back up his claims.
And again, just like with the other stock we talked about, the reason why that happened obviously was because of the promotion went out, the boys got out, they shorted, and then that's what happened, and then that's where you're at. But the big reason why everything in the alerts went out was because Quantum Corp accelerates data-intensive autonomous vehicle research at MSU. Today, they announced that its role in accelerating the All-Terrain Autonomous Vehicle Research Center for Advanced Vehicular Systems at Mississippi State MSU, one of the premier universities for research centers in the world for CAVS, collects vast amounts of unstructured data using Quantum R series edge storage, a high-performance rugged solution proposed to build for capturing massive data volumes in edge environments. The data is generated by vehicles used for further analysis and machine learning. It looks like the data storage processing for the autonomous vehicle development is growing. Mobility Foresight's research estimates 20% of new cars sold globally will have at least 3 autonomous driving capabilities by 2030. An estimated 90 million are connected, and autonomous vehicles will generate up to 10 terabytes of data per day, or 1 zettabyte per day, accessing across the industry. The automobile industry is increasingly requiring storage solutions that are flexible, scalable, easy to manage, and highly reliable to address the big data challenges. So there you go. With that connection going forward, we'll have to wait and see going down the road where that takes us, but that's huge news. So that's where you saw your spike at. I'm saying on this one, for me, it's a highly watch. I'd put it up in the higher end watch there. What do you got?
Yeah, I would say the same thing for a higher watch. This looks promising. As far as like the bears for this stock are concerned, I think they're just being sourpusses, I think.
Yeah, there's just trolls on some of these boards. If you can't bring the receipts, nobody's going to listen to you. So you can just troll all you want. I mean, some people will take the bait, I guess. But unless you bring the receipt, like what there was a good take on the reason why I was a little bit off on 88 yesterday was because some of the guys brought the receipts and they brought the financial numbers, and it is what it is on that one. So you can't be a homer you can be a homer, but you can't be a homer when it comes to your dineros. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm out on this one, and let's jump to the next. Okay, guys, the next stock we have is FAMI, or however you pronounce it. Sorry if I butchered it. Incorporated. Last tick was 0.2600. Going up, putting the chart on the screen. Chart, it's all right. It's a sub, so what do we expect, right there, Kage?
Yeah.
Going forward, what they do, they supply agricultural products. It focuses on processing, selling edible fungi, mainly shiitake, Mr. Muir mushrooms. The company was founded by Ye Feng Zhang Yu Wan in 2003 and headquartered in Laishu, China. Going forward, what do you have as far as on StockTwits? Because that's where the real traders are at.
I see mostly bulls for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are looking to make a buck in the sea of red, I guess.
Mm-hmm. One interesting thing before we go into it, just I forgot to point out. This one, I know the StockTwits that are into this are not going to like what I'm about to say, but it's showing up on a promotion list just to let people know. Emails were going out and things like that. So just for any newbies out there, be forewarned. So you can go ahead. I'm sorry. So.
No, it's fine. This is a quote from Nikki. He says, FAMI. I bet all of this short pressure buildup is much more than we were #1 ranked short squeeze via Yahoo Finance. Fact of the matter is, shorts are in trouble. Everything is great news for us. We will be undeniable, and this volcano is ready to erupt.
Could. The only problem is that with things happening in China right now, with ports closing and things like that, and the fact that we're delaying things in California and all the other deals like that with backups, things could go south. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not trying to be a naysayer or anything like that, but we have to watch how things are playing out over there. So as far as number drops and things like that, hopefully they get everything worked out. We'll see what happens.
For all we know, it could very well be a boom, and we might actually get a whimper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could be in for a supply crisis here if they start closing ports. I don't think people understand. You're gonna have to fly planes, because if they're closing port, and you're gonna have to do it that way, because if they're closing ports, you're not going to be able to get all these goods and things like that. If they're starting to shut down ports, let's hope that things get isolated so they're not having a huge deal here. What's going on? So we'll just have to see how the news plays out. Maybe it's much to do about nothing. I'm just saying, be cautious. That's all I'm saying. Be cautious and be safe. Looks like I got a take here from baystreet.ca. FAMI hikes on a new order. The report from Zhejiang FAMI Biotechnology won another repeat order for dried mushroom slices. The order is from the company's long-term customers for export for Southampton, England. Said the CEO Yangfeng Zhang, "This is another important win for us. It continues to be meaningful sales growth trajectory building for the year as we leverage and increase investment in sales and building market for the global brand, and has also benefited from consistent product availability due to the strong supply chain relationships. This latest win is an example for our success strategy and alongside with our customers to support across a broader range of line of increased revenue per customer, and will also be nurturing the relationships to drive our longer term success." Headquartered, sorry, they just gave out the headquarter. I wasn't going to go off on that. But also, you had 3 weeks ago, if you were out vacationing during getting your pre-Christmas in, it looks like they had a plug here from Cision there. The team has done an excellent job this year overcoming adverse conditions. Further, both domestically and internationally, they'll continue to meet the increased demand for levels of customers' high-quality agricultural products. Do you see anything on StockTwits as far as any type of new numbers that have come out for them, as far as sentiment, as far as hype and things? What are some of the receipts that people are bringing out there?
I'm not really seeing much news as far as why this was brought up.
So you had another interesting take from StockTwits, because that's where the real traders are out there, Kage?
Yes, this comment is from Doug CM. He says bullish for FAMI. He says the party will resume once the overreaction to Fed comments is realized, which shouldn't be long at all. Stuff already ticking up.
Yeah and no. The thing is the Fed comments are actually pretty serious, because you can't sustain yourself with the constant printing, printing, printing. You also have several variables going down the pike. That's why crypto spiked last year, and they're talking about another freaking stimulus again. That's going through the chambers there in the House and the Senate. That's not going to do good for things going forward. So there is concern here. So I don't mean to be the party of the pooper, or the pooper of the party, but I'm just stating the obvious here that there's call for some concern. So you have to be cautious. That's all I'm gonna say. I did find something interesting here, Kage. FAMI did win a repeat customer order for shiitake mushrooms. This was back on December 7th, before Christmas. It looks like their continued progress for agriculture portion of the business most viable externally. They benefited from supply relationship that will give them valuable high state quality fungi products, logistics and distribution investments. They are paying off and they'll gain the momentum, he says. They've had an expansion of their health and wellness business in track, and recently announced the investment approximately RMB 509 billion, approximately US 779.8 million. So that's a lot of dollar rooskies there. Now, I do have some experience with some customers that do use these, and they do have a lot of benefits. So going forward, you got to be hesitant with investing overseas, things like that. Especially, we don't know how much this is tied to the domino effect with the Chinese financial market there that's happening. So just be cautious, guys. I would say medium watch on me for this. I would say be cautious, and obviously don't get in on the pump. You know what I'm saying? But you can watch it, I guess. So what do you got? I'm not that thrilled about it.
I'm just not
just not now.
As far as
I'm
not excited about it. It could be a worthy watch,
yes,
but I would probably just only be content with just watching.
Yeah, the other two we talked about before are better options than this one. This one here, there's just too much risk involved for me for what is going on. If you look at if you don't have your rose-colored glasses on and you're reading through everything that's happening, I would say that you gotta make sure your money's put in the right place. But if you think this is right for you, it might be right for you. It's not right for us. That's all we're saying. So we put it on a watch list. We're not saying anything bad about it. We're just saying it's just on a watch list. That's all it is for us. That's a status. So anything else you'd like to add at all?
No, I think we're done for this one.
Yep.
I think we're good for tonight's show.
So don't make it a dog show. And do you have something to say?
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon.
Good night now!